Hello, my name is Fox and you're watching Den of Fools. Let's jump right in. In week 45 of 2023 we had 102 tournaments with a total of 2,145 players and 8,454 games played. This week the Space Marines topped the charts with 25 wins and 65 top 3 placings. Their weighted placing is 17, which is much better than the 27.8 they got last week. We are seeing big fluctuations in their weighted placing ever since their new codex was released. This is similar to the pattern we saw when the new Tyranid codex was released, which I put down to players taking some time to work out the best lists. Considering the Space Marine Codex has the most options of any book, it is perhaps expected that players will take some time to work out the best lists and get a reasonably consistent weighted placing. Chaos Space Marines come next with 13 wins and 33 top 3 placings. Their weighted placing of 12.2 is the third best overall. They have improved this week and have been performing consistently well for a while. They also managed to get the joint best result at the larger tournaments alongside their loyalist counterparts. The Eldari dropped back a bit from last week with 8 wins and a weighted placing of 17.5. They do also get the joint most wins at the big tournaments. Sisters are the last faction in blue with 8 wins and a weighted placing of 8, the best overall. This is a significant improvement on the weighted placing of 14.4 they got last time out. The Leagues of Votan topped the green group with 6 wins and a weighted placing of 15.2. They performed worse than last week, but only by a small margin. Chaos Knights recaptured their good form with 5 wins and a weighted placing of 16.2. The Necrons also get 5 wins, with a weighted placing of 23, which is over half of their last weighted placing. All of the remaining factions in green get 4 wins, with the Tau on a weighted placing of 29.8, the highest in the group. The Death Guard have a good showing with 22.8, while the Orcs have a weighted placing of 26. The World Eaters have a very similar performance to last week, with 21.5. The Thousand Suns have a weighted placing of 11.8, which is the third best overall. Seemingly they have recovered some of their form from before they were nerfed. Unfortunately, the Tyranids are still struggling, topping the yellow group with 2 wins and a weighted placing of 62.5. Overall, we do see less factions in yellow this week, with a more even spread of wins, allowing 3 more factions to get into green. 25 factions managed at least 1 top 10 placing, with the Space Marines getting the most top 10s with 181. Chaos Space Marines are in second with 79 top 10 placings. They have swap places with Eldari, who come third with 62 top 10 placings. Unsurprisingly, the Space Marines are the most played faction with 19.81% of all players taking them. Chaos Space Marines are the second most popular faction on 7.37%, followed by Eldari in third on 6.53%. For 3 consecutive weeks, the 3 most popular factions get the most top 10s in the same order as their popularity. It takes our resident stats guru and Ultramarine fanboy Fearless Fox many hours to collect all the data. It would be great if you could show your appreciation by liking and sharing the video. It really helps us with the God algorithm of YouTube. We have grouped the win rates by colour, with the key at the bottom of the screen. This week Eldari topped the charts with a win rate of 58.5%. They are consistently getting a win rate around 58%, even with the release of new codexes, so I estimate they will remain at this level until the next balance update. Chaos Space Marines are in second with a 55% win rate, which explains why they also got the second most wins this week. Sisters come next with a win rate of 53.8%, which is much better than the 47.7% they got last time. They certainly seem to be one of the top armies at the moment. The Thousand Suns get a win rate of 53.4%, which is very similar to their win rate of the last few weeks. They are now having some consistent results, near where they were before the nerfs. The Leagues of Votan get a win rate of 52.7%. They have dropped back from the win rate of 57.5%, although they are still performing well. Chaos Knights get a win rate of 52.3%, with the Drukhari on 51.9%, an impressive result for them. The Death Guard are just behind on a 51.8% win rate, which is much better than the 44.5% they got last week. The World Eaters get a win rate of 51.4%, followed by the Tau and Admech, who both get a win rate of 50.8%. Both factions have made significant improvements on their win rate from last week. The Space Marines top the yellow group with a win rate of 48.1%, another slight increase for them. Stay tuned till later on in the video, where we will go over how the individual chapters performed. There are 3 more factions in the Goldilocks zone this week, with a few factions consistently outside of the zone since the update, such as Eldari above 55%, and Necrons, Gene Stealers and Custodies below 45%. The Eldari topped the Leviathan Part 2 win rates with 58.6%. The Leagues of Votan just remain in second place, with a win rate of 53.8%. The new third most popular faction, Chaos Space Marines, are very close behind, with a 53.7% win rate. Eldari are quite far ahead in first, but there is some stiff competition for the title of second strongest faction since the balance update. World Eaters have moved up a spot. They now have a win rate of 51.8%. They gained a place at the expense of the Orcs, who have a win rate of 51.6%, tied with Chaos Knights. The Tau remain at the top of the yellow group with a win rate of 49.7%. The Tyranids have a win rate of 46.8%, with the Space Marines close behind on 46.6%. We see the exact same factions outside the Goldilocks zone, with the majority of factions in yellow and none in red or blue. The two chapters of blue have very few players. This week the Space Wolves top the charts with a very impressive win rate of 58.9%, which is the best win rate for any faction this week. The second most popular chapter, the Black Templars, are not far behind, with a win rate of 57%. They have been improving their win rate week on week since the release of the new codex. The Blood Angels just managed to get in green with a 50% win rate. The Salamanders top the yellow group with a win rate of 49.1%, followed by the most popular chapter, the Dark Angels, on 47.1%. The Death Watch are the last chapter in the Goldilocks zone, with a win rate of 46.4%. The Divergent chapters are performing far better than the purely codex chapters. With the exception of the Salamanders, they are all in the red group. It makes sense that the Divergent chapters are doing better, as they have the exact same options with their own unique units on top. We can see that the Templar and Space Wolf indexes are seemingly big fans of the new codex, where the most codex of chapters, the Ultramarines, only manage a win rate of 58.6%. Having said that, they can do well, with the Ultramarines winning a 105-player tournament this week. The list took many of the popular units we have seen in our tournament spotlights since the new codex, such as Aggressors, Inceptors, Infiltrators, and Scouts, alongside Calgar himself. The codex clearly has some strong datasheets, but with so many included, there are bound to be some that are not great. It could be that units that most Space Marine players have in their collection are not that good at the moment. For an Ultramarine example, one of the biggest selling points of the chapter, in my opinion, is the option to bring Rabute Gulliman to the table. I would imagine most Ultramarine collectors have him by now, and will understandably want to play him. He is far less efficient since the nerf to Oath of Moment, and if Ultramarine players are playing him anyway, it could explain why they have been performing poorly since the codex released. I am still a little surprised that the Divergent chapters are so far ahead. Perhaps the unique Divergent chapter is just really like the new detachments from the codex. Why do you think the codex chapters are performing much worse than the Divergent ones at the moment? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. The second most popular chapter, the Black Templars, top the Leviathan Part 2 win rates with 53.1%. The Space Wolves move into the green group with a 50% win rate. The Blood Angels have a win rate of 46.2%, followed by the most popular chapter, the Dark Angels, on 46%. The Iron Hands are the last chapter in the Goldilocks zone, with a win rate of 45.8%. The Salamanders are on a win rate of 43.8%, with the third most popular chapter, the Ultramarines, and the Imperial Fists on a win rate of 43.2%. The Raven Guard get a win rate of 42.8%, with the White Scars on a 34% win rate. This week, the majority of the Chaos Space Marine warbands are unknown, so we will go straight into Leviathan so far. The Red Corsairs top the win rates of 59.3%, followed by the Alpha Legion with a win rate of 55.7%. The most popular warband, the Black Legion, are on 52.8%, followed by the Word Bearers on a win rate of 52.7%. The Night Lords top the yellow group with a win rate of 49.5%. The Emperor's Children get a win rate of 47.1%, with the Iron Warriors on the bottom with 46.8%. If you enjoyed our content, please subscribe, check out one of the videos on screen, and consider using our affiliate links in the description. Thank you for watching.